Everybody shut the fuck up. Reg, chill. Man, one of y'all did that shit, and when I find out who did, get the fuck out! Fuck you.
Hey, watch your mouth. That's my cousin.
Alicia's revenge is in full motion, and now that she knows Bakari's been lying, all bets are off. So what's going down in the Kai Season 7, Episode 11? Let's break down this explosive trailer and why Bakari might not make it to the finale. Episode 11 is titled Ready or Not, and honestly, Bakari is not ready for what's coming. At the end of Episode 10, Alicia confronted him straight up about her son's killer. And in this trailer, that confrontation escalates. You can see it all over Bakari's face: fear, guilt, and confusion. Alicia asks him directly, "Did Nuck shoot Rob?" That question alone is enough to send shivers down your spine, because now, Alicia isn't just guessing anymore, she knows. And the only thing standing between her and revenge is Bakari's silence. Let's be real, Bakari's been stuck in this emotional tug-of-war for a while. He's been trying to live right, go to school, make something of himself. But this secret he's carrying, it's crushing him. And Alicia cutting his scholarship was the first warning shot. She doesn't care about second chances anymore. She wants the truth, and Bakari, he's got no way out. We even see a moment in the trailer where he's sitting on Nuck's couch saying, "Someone's gonna kill me." The panic is real now. He's realizing that no matter which side he chooses, Alicia or Nuck, he's marked. This trailer shows him spiraling, and for good reason. If he tells Alicia the truth, Nuck might kill him for snitching, but if he stays loyal to Nuck, Alicia might handle it herself. Either way, the boy is walking on a landmine. And don't forget what the official synopsis says: Bakari has a wake-up call. That line right there tells us this is going to be a major turning point for his character. It might be a moment of clarity, or a final decision that seals his fate. But let's think deeper. Is Bakari finally ready to choose survival over loyalty? Because Jake already did. In the last episode, Jake cut ties with Reggie, his own blood. If Bakari was paying attention, he'd realize that loyalty in the Kai can get you killed, and that maybe it's time to start thinking about saving your own neck. Still, Bakari's biggest weakness isn't just fear, it's his heart. He feels responsible. He's not a stone-cold gangster. He's a kid who got caught in the wrong web, and now the web is tightening around his neck. And Alicia, she's not bluffing. Her son is dead, and she's out for blood. This trailer sets the tone for one thing: Bakari has to make a choice. And he has to make it now. There's no more room for hesitation. Alicia's watching, Nuck's watching. And us, we're watching too, holding our breath, because the next move Bakari makes might be his last. Bakari's world is closing in fast, and the trailer makes it crystal clear. There are only two roads left for him to walk. 1. He betrays Nuck, confesses everything to Alicia, and prays she doesn't end him on the spot. 2. He protects Nuck, lies again, and ends up with a bullet for his loyalty. Either way, this is the episode where the mask comes off and the consequences come crashing in. Think about it. Since Rob's murder, Bakari's been carrying guilt like a backpack full of bricks. It's in his body language. It's in the way he avoids eye contact. In the trailer, when Alicia asks, "Did Nuck do it?" there's a pause. That silence is loud, that hesitation, that's fear, but it's also regret. Bakari is realizing he messed up the moment he chose to protect a killer, and now he's running out of excuses. But don't forget, Bakari's not dumb, he's been calculating. And when he says someone's gonna kill me, he means it. He knows he's on borrowed time. Nuck might have been the big brother figure he looked up to. But let's be real, Nuck is a street boss first. And loyalty only matters until it becomes a threat. If Bakari flips, he's not just risking beef. He's signing his own death certificate. So here's the big question: does Bakari still believe Nuck would protect him? Or is he finally realizing that Nuck would drop him the second he becomes a liability? The trailer plays like a warning, not just to Bakari, but to the audience. Everyone's got choices in the Kai, but loyalty always comes with a cost. Just look at Jake. He walked away from Reggie, his own brother, because he saw the danger of blind loyalty. Jake made a decision to survive, and Bakari? He's being given the same test. The question is, will he pass it? We also need to talk about what Alicia is willing to do. She's not operating like a grieving mother anymore. She's moving like a tactician. The kind of woman who doesn't just want answers. She wants vengeance, and in her eyes, Bakari is just as guilty as the trigger man if he's been covering it up. So, if he thinks Alicia's going to let him walk away unharmed just for telling the truth, he might be in for a rude awakening. And here's where it gets scary in the trailer. We don't just see Bakari afraid, we see him paralyzed. He's sitting in silence. He's not running, he's not planning, he's just waiting. That's the look of a man who knows the walls are caving in. That's the look of someone who's realized his next words might be his last. So now, We're left wondering who's going to pull the trigger first, Alicia or Nuck? Or maybe is Bakary going to take matters into his own hands and try to escape this deadly chessboard altogether? All I know is, if episode 11 is titled Ready or Not, then Bakary better get ready fast. Because this episode feels like a countdown. And if you listen closely, you can almost hear the ticking. If you thought Alicia was just acting off emotion, think again. This woman is on a mission, and the trailer shows she's not just driven by grief. She's driven by strategy. Her moves in this episode are calculated. She's not just chasing answers. She's orchestrating the entire revenge setup. And it's starting to look like Bakary was just the first pawn. In a much bigger game, let's break this down in episode 10. Alicia got confirmation that Bakary knew something about Rob's murder. She didn't waste a second. She pulled the scholarship, confronted him, and lit a fire under his conscience. But now in the trailer, she's pressing harder. That moment where she asks, "Did Nuck shoot Rob?" That isn't just a question, it's a trap. She's watching. Every blink, every pause, every twitch in his face, she knows Bakary's scared. And scared people crack under pressure. But here's the scary part. Alicia isn't trying to scare him. She's trying to corner him. There's a difference. She's smart enough to know that if you want to make someone talk, you don't have to beat them, you just have to show them they're running out of places to hide. And now she's taking it a step further. In the trailer, we see Toussaint talking to Alicia about Candace, Reggie's girl. This confirms it. Alicia's building a network. She's not just trying to get the truth from Bakary. She's starting to use other people to get to the real target, Nuck. Candace is her next pressure point. Why? Because Candace has Reggie sleeping on her couch, and Alicia knows that love makes people reckless. If she can't get Bakary to flip, maybe Candace will. So Alicia's not swinging wild anymore. She's setting traps, one here for Bakary, one there for Candace. She's like a hunter circling in, and her prey is starting to sweat. Reggie might think he's untouchable, but the second someone in his inner circle breaks, it's game over. And let's not overlook the deeper layer here. Alicia's not just doing this for her son anymore. She's taking back control. She's showing everyone in the Kai that you don't get to take from her and walk away breathing. And if Bakary was hoping for mercy, he clearly doesn't know her well enough. The other dangerous thing about Alicia right now is her calmness. She's not yelling, she's not breaking down, she's planning, and that's what makes her terrifying. A grieving mother in pain is dangerous, but a grieving mother with a plan, that's lethal. So what's Bakary supposed to do now? He's not just dealing with Nuck's threats anymore now. Alicia is building a web around him, and every move he makes is being watched. If he tells the truth, Alicia might spare him. But if she finds out he's still lying, she's got options. She's got money, she's got muscle. And as of this trailer, she's got a whole squad forming. So now the pressure is real. Bakary is officially surrounded, and the next time we see him, he might not be breathing. While Bakary's world is crumbling and Alicia's revenge is locking into place, there's a whole different storm brewing around Reggie, and it's about to explode. Because in this trailer, we see something that changes everything. Reggie knows someone is trying to set him up, and he's not taking it lightly. Let's rewind a bit. In episode 10, Reggie was already on edge. His instincts told him something wasn't right, and he wasn't wrong. He started playing mind games with his crew, testing them, looking for a mole, and in classic Reggie fashion, he caught people slipping. He tricked Toussaint, used her just to see if someone was feeding info to the other side, and guess what? Somebody was. Now, in this trailer, Reggie says it loud and clear, "Whoever's lying to me is gonna die," and he's holding a gun while he says it. That's not a warning. That's a death sentence. Reggie has officially reached his breaking point, and whoever's been betraying him, they better start running now, because Reggie's not playing anymore. So who's the mole? The obvious suspect is Hannibal. In the last episode, Hannibal was acting way too casual. He asked Reggie for his address. He brushed off the whole "someone's watching us" moment. And now that Reggie's confirmed someone's feeding info, Hannibal's shady behavior is finally catching up to him. But here's the twist. What if the mole isn't Hannibal? What if it's Candace? We know Reggie's been staying at her place ever since Vic and Jake kicked him out. And now Alicia wants to use Candace to get to him, so the trap is already set. Even if Candace doesn't mean to betray Reggie, she's vulnerable. Alicia's got money, power, and manipulation skills. It wouldn't take much to pull Candace into the game, and once that happens, Reggie's going to feel that betrayal harder than anything. That's why the stakes in this episode are so high. Reggie doesn't just suspect a mole, he's about to go hunting for one, and if he guesses wrong, innocent people might die. If he guesses right, the mole's done for. Either way, there's going to be blood. Now let's talk about Reggie's mindset. This isn't the same Reggie from earlier seasons. He's paranoid now, isolated. His circle is shrinking. Jake's gone. Vic pushed him out. His trust is broken. And when a man like Reggie has no one left to trust, He starts burning everything around him just to feel safe. That's what makes this so dangerous. Reggie's not the type to sit down and talk it out. If he thinks someone betrayed him, he's pulling that trigger first and asking questions later. And judging by the trailer, that moment is coming real soon. The tension in Reggie's storyline is different from Bakari's. Bakari's story is about guilt and pressure. Reggie's is about survival and rage. He's not just trying to protect his empire, he's trying to figure out who stabbed him in the back, and when he finds out, it's lights out for somebody. So ask yourself, if Candace slips, will Reggie find out in time? Or will Hannibal take the fall? And if Alicia's watching from the shadows, could she actually be the one pulling all the strings, making Reggie destroy himself from the inside out? It's messy, it's violent, and it's only getting worse. Now let's talk about Candace. Because this girl is the wild card in everybody's game right now, and honestly, I'm scared for her. In the trailer, we find out that Toussaint goes to Alicia and straight up tells her, Candace is Reggie's girl. That line says it all. Alicia knows who Candace is, where she is, and what kind of access she has to Reggie. And if Alicia's already looking for ways to get to Reggie, that makes Candace the perfect target. Let's not forget, Reggie's been sleeping on Candace's couch ever since Jake and Vic tossed him out. That means she's seeing everything. She knows where he's staying, who he's talking to, and when he's coming and going. And Alicia? She's too smart to ignore that. If Candace can be bought, manipulated, or scared into cooperating, she becomes Alicia's secret weapon. But here's the thing. I don't think Candace wants to be involved in any of this. She's not built for that kind of heat. She's been trying to hold Reggie down, but now she's stuck in a war that's way bigger than her. Alicia doesn't play fair. She doesn't give warnings. She sets traps. So if she offers Candace money, or worse, threatens her, Candace might not have a choice. And that's what makes this so dangerous, because Reggie, he's not dumb. He's already suspicious. He knows someone betrayed him, and he's looking for clues. If he even senses that Candace might be working with Alicia, it's over. This isn't a talk it out and forgive kind of situation. Reggie's got trust issues, and the trailer shows he's on edge, ready to kill. Let's also not ignore how Candace could accidentally set Reggie up without meaning to. Alicia could feed her false info, use her as a decoy, or even just track her movements to locate Reggie. Candace might think she's doing something harmless or even helpful, and suddenly find herself responsible for someone's death. There's also a power imbalance here. Alicia's wealthy, dangerous, and backed by people like Toussaint. Candace is just trying to keep her life together. She doesn't have soldiers, she doesn't have backup, she's alone. And the moment Alicia zeroes in on her, she's in over her head. Now imagine this, Candace says yes to Alicia's deal. Maybe she gives her info about Reggie's location. Maybe she sets up a meeting, and then Reggie finds out. And if he's already holding that gun in the trailer, talking about killing whoever betrayed him, who do you think he's pointing it at? Candace might think she's making a smart move to protect herself, but in the Kai, there are no clean exits. She's trapped between a grieving mother out for revenge and a paranoid drug lord, who's ready to shoot first, and no matter what she chooses, somebody's getting hurt. So what's it going to be? Will Candace stay loyal to Reggie and risk Alicia's wrath, or will she flip, thinking she's doing the smart thing and end up triggering a war? One wrong whisper, one wrong look, and she might end up caught in the crossfire. Because in episode 11, secrets won't stay hidden for long, and loyalty, it's a death sentence. While everyone else is fighting for survival, Emmett and Keisha are stuck in a different kind of battle, the fight for their relationship. And from the look of this trailer, things are not okay between them. This storyline isn't just emotional, it's heartbreaking. And it's carrying just as much weight as all the street drama. Because what's worse than a gun to your head? Watching love slip through your fingers when you need it the most. Let's start with the obvious. Keisha didn't say yes to Emmett's proposal. Not because she doesn't love him, but because she knows that proposal came from a place of fear. Not real stability. Emmett's scared of losing her, of the violence in Chicago, of his mom Jada's health, and instead of talking through it, he tried to slap a ring on it and call it a solution, and Keisha, she saw right through it. This is what makes their dynamic so real and painful. Keisha's been through hell. She's not just Emmett's girl, she's a survivor, a mother, a fighter. She's been trying to hold Emmett down. But she also knows she can't be the only one carrying the weight, and Emmett, he's still learning what it really means to be a partner, a protector, and a father, not just to his kids, but to this relationship. In the trailer, we hear Jada talking to Emmett, telling him they need to move out of Chicago, that it's getting too dangerous. And honestly, she's not wrong. Every week, the city feels like it's swallowing people whole. Bakari's in danger, Reggie's about to blow, Alicia's out for blood, it's chaos. And Jada wants her son out of the fire before he gets burned again. But here's where things get complicated. Keisha's not a runner. Yes, she's tired. Yes, she's scared, but she's also deeply rooted in Chicago, her life, her business. Her family, it's all here, and let's not forget, her baby daddy is Nuck, who is still walking these streets. She can't just pack a bag and dip without consequences. Plus, Keisha's the kind of woman who faces her problems, not avoids them. That's why we love her. Still, part of her might be tempted because Emmett wants peace. Jada wants safety, and Keisha, she wants stability. But can you ever really be stable in a city that's always one wrong move away from war? That's the emotional trap. Leaving sounds good on paper, but walking away from the Kai means giving up everything they built and everything they're still fighting for. Keisha doesn't want to abandon her roots, and Emmett doesn't want to raise his family in fear. They're stuck in the middle, between love and survival, between staying and running. And this is where it gets real, because it's not just about whether Keisha says yes to a ring. It's about whether they can survive together. Can Emmett grow into the man Keisha deserves? Can Keisha trust that this relationship isn't just a response to trauma? In this trailer, we don't get all the answers, but we get tension. The kind of quiet tension that shows us this relationship is on the edge, and if they can't figure it out soon, they might lose each other for good. So now we have to ask, will Emmett step up without the fear? Will Keisha hold on or let go? Because while bullets are flying in the streets, heartbreak might be the deepest wound of all. Now let's switch gears for a second, because while bullets and betrayal dominate most of this episode, there's another battle quietly unfolding in the background, Papa trying to save Pastor Zeke. And to be honest, this storyline might not have the shootouts and suspense, but it hits just as hard in a different way. Because in a city where everyone's losing their soul, Papa is fighting to save someone else's. The official synopsis says, Papa presents Pastor Zeke with an idea to help his reputation. And that line alone tells us everything we need to know. Papa still sees hope in a man everyone else has already written off. Let's be real here. Zeke's fall from grace was fast and ugly. The second people started questioning his leadership, his image crumbled. Whether it was the scandal, the accusations, or just the way he handled his personal business, folks started side-eyeing him, especially within the church. And you know how it is, once people stop believing in your character, it's almost impossible to get that trust back. But Papa, being Papa, hasn't given up. That's who he is. He believes in redemption, even when it seems out of reach. And that's what makes his storyline so powerful. While everyone else in the Kai is trying to protect themselves, Papa's still trying to protect someone else's purpose. Now, we don't know exactly what this idea is that Papa pitches, but you can bet it's coming from the heart. Maybe he wants Zeke to do community work. Maybe he's encouraging him to speak publicly, to apologize, to rebuild. Whatever it is, it's coming from a place of love. But love doesn't guarantee success, and that's where the tension comes in. Because Zeke might not want saving, he's embarrassed, he's bitter, he's defensive, and deep down, he might believe that he's beyond repair. That's the scary part, not when the world gives up on you, but when you give up on yourself. That's why Papa's mission is so risky. He's putting his energy, his trust, and his time into a man who might not want it. And if Zeke lashes out or pushes him away, it could break Papa's spirit in ways that bullets never could. But this storyline also reflects something deeper happening in the Kai. Everyone's trying to escape something, guilt, danger, regret. But Papa, he's trying to restore. He's the only one not running, not fighting, not hiding. He's standing in the storm trying to fix something that's already broken. And that kind of courage? That's rare. Still, this is the Kai, and nothing is ever that simple. If Zeke accepts Papa's help, we might see the beginning of a powerful comeback, not just for Zeke, but for Papa too. Because Papa's been grieving his father, feeling lost, questioning his own faith, and maybe, just maybe, saving Zeke is Papa's way of saving himself too. But if Zeke rejects it, if he falls deeper into the darkness, then Papa's going to have to face a brutal truth. You can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. So now the emotional question is, can Papa handle that rejection? Or will trying to lift someone else up end up pulling him down? Redemption is beautiful, but it's fragile, and in a world as cold as the Kai, it only takes one wrong step to lose it forever. Now here we are, the final stretch, and if there's one thing the Kai always reminds us, it's this: nobody escapes the consequences. Not even the ones with good intentions. Bakari's death isn't just a tragedy, it's a turning point. Because whether you loved him or hated him, his death sets off a chain reaction that shakes everyone around him. Reggie, Douda, Alicia, and Candace, they all played a part in this, and now the weight of it is starting to crush them. Let's start with Alicia. She's been pulling strings from behind the scenes, trying to set her son up for greatness, trying to destroy Douda from the inside. But now, with Bakari gone and Rob heartbroken, she's not the mastermind anymore. She's a mother who may have cost her son everything. And that guilt, it doesn't just go away. And then there's Candace, cold, calculated, and calm in the face of violence. But But here's the twist. It might have been her voice of reason that saved Victor from making a mistake, because if Victor had pulled that trigger at the dinner table, he would have gone down with Douda, and maybe that's what Douda wanted. See, Douda doesn't just want to win, he wants to drag everyone else down while he burns. But Candace? She sees the long game. She knows Douda's reign doesn't end with bullets. It ends when his power crumbles, when people stop being afraid. That's what this episode sets up, the slow collapse of Douda's empire. No more loyalty, no more fear, just the enemies he made coming back to collect. And now let's talk about Reggie. Man, this dude's been on a mission ever since he returned, but here's the thing. Reggie doesn't know how to play chess. He's a street guy with a street code, and now, with Bakary dead, he's got blood on his hands. Whether he meant to or not, his alliance with Alicia may have made sense on paper, but on the streets, it comes with a cost. And if Reggie thinks he can outmaneuver Douda with brute force, he's got another thing coming. Because Douda, even if he's cornered, even if everyone's turning on him, he's still dangerous. Especially now, he's like a wounded animal, more deadly than ever. And if this episode proves anything, it's that Douda doesn't care who dies, as long as he doesn't lose. Now zoom out for a second, look at the whole board. We've got Emmett trying to protect his family, Papa trying to save Zeke, Alicia manipulating power plays, Reggie starting wars, and Douda trying to maintain his throne. But the person we lost, Bakary, the kid who never really got a chance to be free, that's the real tragedy. Because while the adults are fighting for money, revenge, or reputation, the ones who suffer are the youth. And Bakary, he was still a kid, a broken kid. Sure, a violent one at times, but also a kid who wanted to be better, who wanted love, who finally had someone, Lainey, who saw something in him, and now she's left alone. Let's not ignore her pain, because Lainey's grief is about to become a problem for everybody. She might cry, she might mourn, but she also might snap, and when she does, there's no telling what she'll do. She could be the wild card, the one who exposes everything, or explodes everything. So what are we left with? A city teetering on the edge, friendships shattered, secrets exposed, grief turning into rage, and a war that's just getting started. Episode 11 isn't the end. It's the warning shot, the calm before the final storm. And if the Kai has taught us anything over these 7 seasons, it's that peace never lasts long. So buckle up, because episode 12, that's where the reckoning hits.